In just 3 years, I turned 35 grand into a million. I'm Mike. I'm 28, and after years in the financial markets, I know exactly how money moves, and more importantly, why it doesn't move for 99% of people. I didn't get here by following the rules. I got here by breaking them. I truly believe there were 8 specific habits that allowed me to hit that 6-figure mark by age 26 and keep crushing every financial goal since. Most people ignore these. They focus on the wrong things. And seriously, pay close attention to habits number 6, 7, and 8. Those are the ones that actually separated me from the pack. If you miss those, the first 5 won't matter. Let's cut the noise. Here is the blueprint. Number 1 is close the learning gap. If you don't know where to start, you start here. It sounds obvious, but it is single-handedly the most important point on this list. You have to close the gap that the school system created. Let's be real. School is designed to make you a compliant worker bee. It is tailored to get you a safe job, earn a capped salary, and pay your taxes quietly. They teach you about mitochondria and isosceles triangles, but they don't teach you how to file an LLC, how to leverage debt, or how to read a balance sheet. I remember sitting in a meeting with a bank manager when I was 22. He was trying to sell me on a savings account with a 0.5% interest rate. Meanwhile, inflation was running at 3%. I realized right then, the system is designed to keep you poor. If I followed his advice, I was mathematically guaranteed to lose money every single year. Most people accept this. They think that's just how it is. That is a lie. You have to educate yourself. Read the books, listen to the podcast, watch the videos. You need to understand that wealthy people don't trade time for money, they trade assets for money. If you aren't spending your evenings unlearning what school taught you, you will stay broke. Number 2 is kill the spotlight effect. This used to paralyze me. When I first started in finance, and definitely when I started online, I was terrified of judgment. I worried about what my family would think, what my old friends from high school would say, what my colleagues would whisper by the water cooler. But then I learned about the spotlight effect. It's a psychological bias where we think there is a giant spotlight following us around, and everyone is analyzing our every move. Well, let's be honest. Who the hell needs you besides your mom and your girlfriend? Everyone is the main character in their own movie. You are just an extra in the background of theirs. There is a famous quote, "We would worry less about what others think of us if we realized how rarely they do." When I realized this, I stopped playing it safe. I posted the video. I asked the stupid question in the meeting. I took the risk. If you fail publicly, people might laugh for 5 seconds, and then they go back to worrying about their own problems. Stop making important decisions based on the opinions of people who aren't even watching. Number 3 is find the window. Just because an authority figure tells you no, that doesn't mean it's the end of the road. It just means their door is closed. When I was 23, I set a hard goal. Hit 6 figures before my 26th birthday. I worked 14-hour days that year. I crushed my targets. At the end of the year, I sat down with my boss and laid out the case for a raise. I had the data. I had the results. He looked at me and said, "It's not possible. You're too young. Budgets are tight." He gave me a generic list of corporate excuses. Many of you would have accepted that reality and gone back to his desk. But I decided to question the answer. I realized my boss doesn't control my income. I do. If I couldn't get the money from my salary, I'd get it from somewhere else. I took my savings, lived well below my means, eating rice and beans while my friends ate out, and bought my first investment property. That asset pushed me over the 6-figure mark, not the job. There are 101 ways to get to the same destination. If the front door is locked, kick down the back door or climb through the window. Habit number 4 is money out equals money in. This is where I see smart people acting stupid. I know guys earning $80,000 a year who will drop $300 on a night out drinking, but they hesitate to spend $50 on a book or a course that could teach them a new skill. They treat their business like a hobby. They want to start a side hustle, but they refuse to spend money to start it. You have to understand, scared money makes no money. I used to try to do everything myself to save cash. I'd spend 10 hours trying to fix a website bug instead of paying a developer $50 to fix it in 20 minutes. That is poverty thinking. Naval Ravikant talks about setting an aspirational hourly rate. Let's say you want to be worth $100 an hour. If you are doing tasks that you could outsource for $20 an hour, like cleaning, laundry, or basic admin, you are literally losing money. You are stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. To scale, you have to buy back your time. Invest in yourself. Buy the better equipment. Pay for the mentor. It's not spending, it's investing. Number 5 is weaponize your FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMO is the single biggest destroyer of wealth for people in their 20s. You open Instagram and see your friends in Dubai, Mykonos, or Vegas. They're buying the new iPhone, leasing the BMW, eating at Nobu. It takes a massive amount of willpower to say no to that dopamine hit. But here is what I learned. If you give in to FOMO, you are sacrificing your own narrative. You are burning your capital just to keep up appearances in a race that doesn't matter. I remember a specific summer where all my friends went on a massive trip to Ibiza. I wanted to go, badly, but I stayed home, saved that $3,000 and put it into my portfolio. That sucked at the time. But today, that $3K compounded and the business I worked on that summer pays for me to go wherever I want, whenever I want. The only cure for FOMO is having a mission. When you know where you want to be in 5 years, missing a party on Friday night doesn't feel like a loss. It feels like a tactical decision. Okay, lock in. These last 3 are the game changers. Number 6, action over analysis. The number 1 thing that keeps intelligent people broke is analysis paralysis. I see this constantly. People want to start a business, but they spend 6 months researching. They obsess over the logo, the font, the perfect niche. I didn't waste 6 months preparing to start this YouTube channel. I mean, seriously, just look at this footage, look at these animations. It looks like I edited this with my butt cheeks, right? I just sat down, made the video, and hit publish. Zero doubt. Zero overthinking. You are never going to learn how to drive a car while holding a pen and a notebook. You learn more in 1 day of actually doing the thing than in 1 year of reading about it. The perfect plan is a myth. Jeff Olson writes in The Slight Edge that overthinking leads to overwhelm, and overwhelm leads to quitting. Launch the ugly version of the product. Post the bad video. You will get feedback and you will iterate. The market rewards momentum, not perfection. The cost of being wrong is small. The cost of waiting is everything. 7. Network is net worth. This is the one nobody likes to hear because it requires making hard cuts. I know you've already heard about it 1,000 times, but I'll tell you this 1,001 times. There is a concept called the crab bucket theory. If you put 1 crab in a bucket, it can climb out. If you put a bunch in, they will pull each other back down. If you hang out with 5 people who complain about their boss, drink every weekend, and have zero ambition, you will be the 6th. I had to look at my circle and be ruthless. I had friends I loved, but they were comfortable with mediocrity. Their normal was survival. I needed a new normal. I started forcing myself into rooms where I was the poorest, dumbest person there. It's uncomfortable. It hurts your ego. But being around people who are playing the game at a higher level drags you up by osmosis. You start to think like them. You start to see opportunities where you used to see problems. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. Leave. Habit number 8, the 80-20 efficiency hack. Most people confuse being busy with being productive. They are not the same thing. When I worked in finance, I saw guys working 12-hour days, sweating, stressed out, but achieving nothing. They were drowning in emails and meetings. I applied the Pareto principle. 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. I audited my day and realized that only about 2 hours of my work actually generated revenue or moved the needle. The rest was just noise. So I became ruthless. I stopped saying yes to useless meetings. I automated the busy work. I focused with violent intensity on the 20%. The sales calls, the strategy, the high-leverage decisions. This applies to your finances too. You don't need to cut out every $3 latte. That's the 80% that doesn't matter. Focus on the 20%. Increasing your income, buying assets, and tax efficiency. That is where the wealth is made. Those are the 8 habits. None of this is magic. It's not a lottery ticket. It is simply mindset followed by aggressive execution. Look, I know you've probably heard some of these rules before. Hell, maybe even from me in past videos. But I'm not here to reinvent the wheel for your entertainment. I am sharing only the specific tactics that actually worked. No theory, just results. I wish someone had told me this when I was 20, but now you have the blueprint. If you're ready to stop overanalyzing and start building real wealth, destroy that like button. Thanks for watching. Now go get to work.